Hey YouTubers, a buddy of mine that I eat lunch with up at Taco Bell all the time says they've got it remodeled and they're back open, so even though it's kind of cool, I'm gonna get out Old Faithful here with his vibrating wheel. Look at that, shaking. Take Old Faithful for a little ride. And pardon my sinusy noises, it's cold. My nose is running like a faucet. This is the best bike out of a whole bunch of them. It always goes. All I've had to do to it is tires and a throttle cable. And I think I did put rings in it way back. It was built in '85. Got a clutch brake on it, fastened to the frame with a little rubber inside of a steel wrap. See, it ought to be warmed up enough to run without the choke now. Yeah, now we're cooking. Alright. Taco Bell. Here we come. Hands will be a little cool, I'm sure, but other than that, the point I was making on a video on old school motorized bicycling on Facebook, a point I was making. A lot of these guys have trouble with those rag joints on China kit bikes. If you don't have a rag joint, you don't have no problem if you use a belt. Belts are forgiving, belts are cushioning, and they do not stretch. People will tell you, oh, well, that belt stretched and grew. That doesn't happen. If it did, you'd have to tighten your car belt all the time. You almost never hear of anybody having to do that. It's just not an issue. Where chains do stretch, a tiny little fragment of play in one link of a chain, you add that up over all the links, you got a loose chain flopping around. If you get a belt set, you may have to make up for it one time in a year, but that's not too bad. Chains you got to mess with all the time. I do have some with chains on them, and they're a pain in the butt, but they're what I had at the time, so that's what I went with. There's some more of the bike. Filled a little full of gas, it's locked out everywhere. That's okay, we ain't gonna worry about that. Alright, I'm gonna hook this fixture on my coat. There we go. So now I'm filming and I don't have to hold the phone. And I think it's time for some sunglasses. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. This old bike is pretty darn good. How y'all doing? Gives me very little trouble. And it'll get to rolling too. Once it gets up there whistling, it's moving on a pretty good clip. If this ain't 35, there ain't a cow. Well, let's see. It is. By my speedometer, it's showing 28. It's a speedometer off an exercise bike, so it's close to right. Well, them sewer caps will sure pinch a tube when you're a heavy man like me on bicycle tires, so I went and bought some good tubes filled with slime, and they're a little thicker than the average. I don't like pushing them home, and I ain't calling nobody unless I have to come help me. We'll get her sailing again. I'll get some more shots. It's barely opened up. There's a lot more power where that came from. If I wanted to run it fast, it'll go. Old cast iron 7S Briggs with a carburetor off of 3.5 horse push mower from back in the 60s when they still had floats, early 60s. But a much bigger intake port, so I took a grinder and reamed them to match. Excuse me. Ported it to match. As an old buddy of mine used to say, the old dog will still hunt. From 1985 to now is a long stretch. Believe me, that's the year I got married. Oh, me. It's a three-way stop here. Little pedaling to help her get going, and got like a 3-speed car taking off in second gear. Once you get her humming, you don't have to pedal much, just to get the ball rolling. I think it takes about 9 minutes to get from my house up here to Taco Bell, near Hurstburn Lane. So, somebody's losing some diesel fuel. Or if it's motor oil, I pity them, because once that trail quits, that means it's done pumped till it ain't sucking oil no more. So that black streak on the road means somebody's going to have a good sized problem here in a little bit. Colder than a whore's heart. Not really. It's about 50. Something like that. 45, 50, I don't know. Only place I feel it these days, or the main place, is my forehead and my fingertips. And I'd have gloves on, except it's hard to work the phone with gloves. How you doing, buddy? All right, I think my buddy's right. I think my eating establishment here is open again. I cussed some old man out right here the other day, and now I feel bad about it, but he rubbed me wrong and bitched about my riding, and it was not his place to bitch at me, so probably shouldn't have done it, but I did. Alrighty. Have arrived. There we go. Thanks for watching. John Wade on YouTube.